Well, good evening. On this episode of Crossroads Garage, a few things to expect. We broke our welder, bought another welder, broke our oil pickup, fixed it, made the bolt for the main cap, or the extension for the bolt for the main cap to hold the pickup. Discovered a broken or very chewed up oil pump drive shaft. Used the grinder and flat disc, fixed that. Found out that our oil pan would not fit with the new pickup, even with it all the way screwed in. So we have fabbed a little addition to said oil pan. We also broke our cam plate because I tried to install the timing set too tired and put it on backwards and torqued it against the cam plate. So when I tried to rotate the motor to check clearance on the oil pickup, it broke in half and fell on the ground. Let's get into it. All right, come with me. Didn't have enough hands and the lighting is terrible. It's very overcast today, but there you are. That's the new timing set in. That's how a timing chain is supposed to look. You want just a tiny bit of give so it doesn't bind, but I mean, not clear to here, you know what I mean? All right, we're gonna keep going, and I'm trying to blast my way through some of this. I've got the new fitting here, so when we're ready to do that, probably am gonna have to take this water neck off, which is fine, but I'm trying to get the front end of this back together. Everything's set as fast as I can so that it can be setting up and drying, and we can get to the bottom end of this, get that oil pickup and pump back in, get that provision made on that bolt, and yeah, get this thing together and ready to slam in. So yeah, I'll bring you back in just a minute when there's something interesting going on that you can actually see. Alrighty. So we made quite a bit of progress. I got this whole water pump deal all put back together and realized that I forgot the back gasket. So I had to take the whole dang thing all apart, lose all the bolts all over again, re-silicone everything, put it back together, and get this deal in here. So we're pretty well set up. I got this pressed in and torqued. Everything's torqued and good. That plate's looking nice. Everything's great, except for the fact that, actually, while I'm talking about having to take this off, I actually had to take it off twice, because after I put the gasket on and put it back together, I realized that I forgot my fuel pump eccentric. Yep, I know. Forgot it over there on the table that I so nicely organized. So I've actually had this apart 3 times. But we're good now, I think, until I find the next part that I forgot. What we're currently fighting is this right here. I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, that's definitely homemade, which is great. And the 91%, and it just powered off for low battery. This camera is for sure crashing. This camera is seriously struggling. This is literally the 3rd battery, and now I have it plugged into the wall, so we'll try this again. What I was trying to say is, when I took it off, I didn't realize this thing was as warped and bad as it is. Basically, yeah, you can see it's all caved in. The hole is super jagged and messed up. My plasma cutter will not cut through that. So what I'm gonna do is use the grinder here, and I'm just going to pie cut the ever-living you-know-what out of it, and use a punch and just try to fillet it back as much as I can to at least hopefully get over the crankshaft or the balancer, I mean. So yeah, let's go time lapse and we'll get this thing knocked out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. Every time I start recording, my throat closes up. What do you think of that? Let me get this out of your way. There you go. What do you think? Not too bad. This, you know what this means? This means we can finally get this junk back together, the pickup on, the pan gaskets on. Psst. Just saying, might actually be able to close it up today and get a move on. So let me adjust the camera so you can kind of see under there, you know what I mean? And we'll get going. I'll just let you go for the ride. Just, you know, think of it like a free, or what do you call those? Free carnival ride. And I gotta do the next set. Oh boy. I'm so ready for this to be done. Can you see very well? Oh yeah, you can actually see pretty decently, I think. Looks to me like you can anyways. Right on. Okay. Grab the oil pump, wherever I set that sucker. Oh yeah, right here. Hold on. Drive shaft, bolts, gasket. That's the other deal. Okay. Here we go. And bolts. Where did I throw the bolts? Uh-oh. I put them somewhere where I wouldn't lose them, so don't worry. They've got to be here somewhere. Dang it. I thought I set them right in this deal here. Maybe not. Okay. Well, there's that. There's the drive shaft. Got the gasket, and I'm holding the bolt. Did I set them? I did, wait, no. I promise you, I just set them down somewhere and thought, okay, I'm gonna put these right here so I cannot possibly lose them and they'll stay out of the way. I seriously cleaned them and set them down where I couldn't lose them. Good grief. Nope, not in the block for sure. Doggone it. Okay guys, well, I am an absolute idiot. I knew that I put the bolts with the oil pump, and you guys are probably screaming at me right now, but I knew I put them somewhere I couldn't lose them. Had to have my brother come out, and he showed me where they were. So, there you go. They are found, and that is lost. Whatever that was, besides the wrench. Dang. This, holy cow. This drive shaft for this oil pump is beat up. Wish I'd have seen that earlier. So there's that end. Alright, looks fine. That end does not. At all. That's not good. Dang it. That's actually pretty bad. Okay, I don't know how well you saw it before, but it is extremely chewed up. And nobody has one. I just called everybody. So, in classic part store fashion, nobody stocks any Ford parts besides Windsor. So you guys get to go on a time lapse while I get set up here, and we are going to try our best at remanning this a little bit and see if we can't get it in good enough to make it work at least for this weekend, so we can get it running and tuned and get that carburetor on it while we wait for whoever, probably Summit again, to send us another part. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'll see you in a sec. Alright, that looks pretty good, I think. I mean, it's got all the edges back, and I've got the tip of it, come on, focus, re-rounded. Looks very similar, obviously not quite as clean, but if this that end rides up in the distributor, it won't have the weight sitting on it. I don't think that this is actually impacting anything up there necessarily, or if it is, it's very, very lightly. So I think we'll be in good shape, hopefully. Yeah, those edges, they look pretty good to me. It'll at least get us by for, you know, a couple of weeks, worst case scenario, whatever. We'll be up and running, is what I'm trying to say. All right, let me get you turned around, get this slammed back together, and try to get this thing in the truck, hopefully. Well, after some more due annoyance and frustration, it is up. Everything's back. Whatever I was just doing that I was annoyed about, can't remember now. Oh yeah, drive shaft, right. All right, let's see if we can't get something done. This is going to be the first test fit. In fact, since this is a test fit, let me just go ahead and test fit to see if this thing is even gonna line up anymore. I did go ahead and go through and I double checked all the, what do you call it? All the rod bolts, made sure, or all the main cap bolts, made sure everything was connected properly. Okay, we're already having issues. Can I do it? Actually, I want this off of here first. Whew. But what I'm thinking is we're gonna have to, I'm just gonna do that now. I take this Christmas tree bit and enlarge the hole on this bracket. Whew. All right, but we're very close. I mean, it's right there. So I'm just gonna take it up a couple of sizes, and hopefully that'll do it. Just making a pile of garbage right there. Now let's go one more. There. That ought to be enough. And if it's not, I don't care. I'm just gonna break it because I'm tired of this. It needs to go up. Okay, we should be good then to get this all working. And it is gonna sit nice and flush right there. There shouldn't be any problems with that. Wow, guys. We did it. Okay, well, you don't have to watch me do it twice. I'm gonna get this back down and put the drive shaft and the gasket in there and yeah. I think that's what the plan is. Actually, hold on a minute. This thing keeps falling out. All right, so moment of truth. It's time for this. Will it fit? Now that we've done everything else to make the pickup fit. I'm so tired of this. Give me it. Goodness. Oh, whatever. Or is it gonna get stuck again like it did before? It's stuck. It's stuck. It's webbing right here. How are we gonna fix this? Well, I've decided that regardless of what I have to do, this doggone bottom end is going in tonight, regardless of what I have to do. I think I just said that. We are going to make this oil pan fit. It's gonna take another couple of hours to get right back to where we were a few minutes ago, but that's fine. We're gonna make it happen. All right, so it's hitting, essentially it's hitting right here where it's humped. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it down both sides, across here, fillet it down, rebuild it, and if we have to, well, we will have to, that's gonna be our our sacrificial pan or scrap metal or whatever. Just to be safe, I'm gonna cut it right here. Time for a new wheel. All right. So what I am gonna do real quick. Hi, baby. What, honey? Okay. My 2-year-old's yelling at me. Okay. Okay, we are going to put this into place for the final time, hopefully, so we have an exact reference of how we need to build the other piece of that. You guys will never guess what just happened. I've got all this bottom end together, and I put a washer up under here to make sure that that's gonna hold in place, and because I had to drill that hole out a bit bigger, I put a breaker bar on the crank here and started turning it. Guess what just fell out the bottom side of the engine? You know what that is? It's a cam retaining plate. Or half of it. I think I'm done filming tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. It is very early. I think it's a little after 6. And it's quite chilly. In any case, let's see if I can get this. Anyway, in any case, we spent quite a bit of time last night. Worked very late, and we're back together. I got exceptionally lucky right after that cam plate broke, and was thinking, well, you know, these 351s apparently share a lot of things in have a lot of things in common with 460s, and I have that taken apart 460 over there, well, all the pieces from it. And I remembered that I had a cam plate sitting on my folding table back there. And so I went and grabbed it, and lo and behold, it was correct. So if any of you guys ever run into this problem with a modified, a 460 plate will work as well. It's exactly the same, it's identical. I put the pieces of the old one together and compared them, and they line up perfectly. They're probably the same part number. So we were able to get it back together last night, get everything back on there and re-siliconed, balancers back in, all of it. It's time for some coffee today, I think, before we get started. And for those of you that wonder or care, it was my fault, and I'll explain it in a minute. Cheers. It is way too cold out here, and this has been in the fridge all night. Too cold to chug. So it was my fault because it's actually a little embarrassing, but this is the type of stuff that happens when you get way overworked, way too tired, and yeah, way too frantic trying to put things together. When I got the cam or the timing set, it came with the backside facing up, and when I pulled the old set off, I had pulled it off and set it like that, you know, so I can, as a reference for when I put it back together, that this is the way that it came off, this is the way it needs to go on, you know, because I've never done a timing chain before, to be honest, and I put it on backwards. When I went to compare it to the old one, I realized I had moved it around too much, and the gears weren't facing the same way they were when I pulled it out. So I didn't have a reference, and I didn't look it up, and I went, that looks right, this is the way it came out of the box, you know. I didn't even think that far about it, you know, I didn't think at all. And I slammed it in, so I torqued that cam gear right up to that cam plate, the timing gear to the cam plate. So when I tried to rotate the motor, it went, and yeah, that was my fault. But we're back together now correctly. So let's get this oil pan up and start figuring out how we've got to build that to make it fit, so we can get that on, get those gaskets in, and get this thing ready to go in the truck. Alrighty, I'm gonna get set up out here so I actually have a space to work, and just for the sake of it, might as well let the bed fall off so that I can kind of have some room here. I got a new sheet of metal. I was gonna just chop up that other pan, but it is a modified pan. They're not super common, and they're not super easily obtainable. And if someday I decide to either, you know, put an actual 460 in here, or put that in some type of a hot rod or whatever, I figure it would be worth hanging on to that pan. If I can find a place with this microphone that's not jamming itself right up into my beard. All right. So this piece needs to stand up here like that. Well, I guess like that. So I need to build something that's 1.5 inches around. That should give us enough that we can kind of make a swoop. But I gotta figure out how to do this, because making this curve is going to be, well, it's going to be tricky. Let's start with the flat. Inch and a half. How wide do we need this? 5 1/8. All right. I'm gonna grab a straight edge. I want to actually make this thing a little more accurate than most of my hacking. Actually, I know exactly where a good flat edge is. Hopefully we can get this pin whipped out in a hurry. All right. Okay. Pretty good.
Woke up this morning, sun in my eyes, shadows of the past left behind. Been through the fire, burned through the pain, but I'm standing tall through the pouring rain. Yeah, the road was rough and the nights were long, but now I'm here and I'm feeling strong. So I'm gonna do the victory dance, throw my hands up, take my chance. Every scar's a medal, every bruise is gold, dancing through the heartache, when the story be told. Oh, I'm gonna do the victory dance, from the ashes I'll take my stance, celebrate the triumph through the highs and lows, let the world know I'm free to let it go. Chains and the ghosts of the past, found my rhythm, got my feet to last, strumming my guitar, singing loud and proud, lost my fears and I finally found the strength inside that I thought was gone, but now I'm here and I'm marching on. So I'm gonna do the victory dance, throw my hands up, take my chance. Every scar's a medal, every bruise is gold, dancing through the heartache, when the story be told. Oh, I'm gonna do the victory dance, from the ashes I'll take my stance.
Do this before it dies. There's what we're looking at. It's pretty good. I gotta weld the inside of this seam that connects down to the part of the pan itself, and then we will jump in and weld the inside of this just along all those seams, make sure everything is as tight as we can possibly make it. You can see I screwed it up, so we got a bit of a gap to fill here, and then we've got to try to make just a little triangle on this side and on this side. But I've test fit it probably half a dozen times, It's looking great. I gotta make a run to the bank real quick and yeah, run a couple of errands, but I will be back here in just a couple of minutes and we will hopefully be able to get this thing knocked out and get on to bigger and better things. All right, catch back up with you in just a second. Okay guys, well, we've pretty much spent the whole day making this dang oil pan, but and my welder pooped out, so I had to go get another one. Thankfully I knew somebody that had one for sale, so that worked out. All right, so I'm gonna show you the pan here that we've made. I just did some booger welds right here while it was full of water, trying to dam up all the leaks that it's got, so I'll clean all that off. But it looks pretty good. We've got our new drain plug in that we just, you know, bolt and nut that I found. But it works good. It is just the right, we have just enough clearance. The inside looks really good. I don't know how well you can see that. Not great. There, now you can kind of see in there. A little bit, there it is. Yeah, looks pretty good. We have good clearance and all the rest. So, what I'm gonna do now, because I still have some leaks, is I'm gonna grind all this off, run a Napa real quick, grab some quick steel, and I'm just gonna kind of do all of the seams on here the best that I can. And then we're gonna put it on the motor after we torque down the oil pump and the pickup, and yeah, put the gasket on it and slam it up in there, get the flywheel on it, and start getting this thing together just as quickly as we can. I've got about 3 hours left today to work, so I'm gonna try to make this trip as fast as possible, and we will be right back. I am looking forward to using this welder, by the way. It accepts gas, and yeah, it's a lot better than that rinky-dink little Chicago Electric. I've beat that thing to death over the last 2.5 years. Okay, let me get to Napa and clean this up, and when we get ready to put this pan on here, then I'll grab you and you can watch me do that. Okay guys, well, we're gonna toss the flywheel on here, but I can't get the clutch until I go, yeah, I was thinking about using this one, but that's about shot. There's maybe 20% left on it. Where'd I put the flywheel though? That's the real question. Either way, I can't get, oh yeah, here it is. I can't get the clutch disc out of the 300 without pulling it, or without lifting it back up off the ground. And I can't do that at the moment. So we're gonna try to get this lined up. There we go, I think that's it. We're getting down towards the end though, which is great news. What in the world's going on here? All right, there's 3. Looks like I'm doing some more filing. Oh, brother. I don't know what a brother is, but I think it's something like a brother. Now I gotta figure out how to hold the front still while I torque these. That's gonna be fun. Oh no. Oh, doggone it. Wow. I don't think I moved this out quite far enough. Let's see here. Nope, can't even fudge it. Well, guys, I hate to do it. I truly do. But we're just not gonna make it tonight. I got 10 too many things to do. And to be honest with you, I've been awake since 5 o'clock this morning. But we made some fantastic progress. We got the oil pan built. We've got the stud built. We got the pickup put in. We got the oil pump put in. We got the drive shaft for the oil pump fixed. We've got the flywheel on, even though I have to take it back off. Got the cam plate replaced. We got the timing chain set replaced. We've got the water pump done. We've got the entire front assembly done. We've got the what was it? Something else. I don't remember now. Either way, we are nearly there. I'm excited to get this motor in, and I would finish it off tonight, but to be totally honest, I am exhausted. And I've got about 7 hours from now until I have to be awake in the morning to go back to work. I still need to go eat and shower and do all those sorts of things. But we are close, very, very close. It should be easy after this. Should be. So if you guys can stick with me for one more video, we should be able to finish this truck off. And I think I'm just gonna leave it straight piped for now. So it ought to be pretty obnoxious. All right, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. If you made it this far, I seriously appreciate you. Please like and subscribe and share. Do all the things. We will catch you all next week. Have a great weekend and rest of your work week.